If you see this film, make sure you bring your earplugs. Mine are still ringing. Deep ear canal pain aside, Pacific Rim gives another take on the whole aliens attack Earth, humanity fights for survival things. Except this time, the aliens don't come from space. Instead, they arrive via a dirty great big hole in the Pacific Ocean. And these aliens aren't little green men either. They're kaijus, colossal, fire-breathing, armoured, steroided up elephants. Humans build Jaegers, which is German for hunter, skyscraper-sized Gundam Power Rangers to fight the kaiju, which is presumably Japanese for you are about to die. Remember when you used to get toys and make them fight by going like that? Well, this is pretty much that, the movie. So arguably the biggest name in this film is its director. Guillermo Del Toro is the guy that brought you Hellboys and Pan's Labyrinth, so you know when it comes to action and fantasy, this film's in good hands. It goes to show you how much clout a director has when they can release pretty much the only original summer blockbuster smack bang in the middle of July. I mean, is there anything else that's out right now that isn't a prequel, or a sequel, or based in something? And blockbuster it is. The sheer scale of this film is something else. I mean, for a film that's pretty much Transformers vs Godzilla, it had to be, but damn! For the kaiju, imagine if you fed a rhino nothing but maxi muscle protein shake and then gave it a gym membership and access to dangerous weaponry. And the Jaegers make Megatron look like a pussy. When else are you going to see a submarine used like a baseball bat? Right, the Jaegers, essentially what happens is that each country builds its own Jaeger robot to defend its home turf if the kaiju decides that that place in particular is unlucky enough to get trampled that day. I was worried this was going to turn into blatant patriotism and focus far too much on the Americans and make them out as if they're the only capable country. Luckily enough, this isn't the case. In fact, out of all of them, it's Australia that has the biggest, best, most powerful Jaeger. For a film like this, its main selling point was always going to be its fight scenes. Luckily, Guillermo Del Toro is not Michael Bay, so you don't spend the whole time going, what the hell just happened? He's smart enough to zoom out so you can actually see what's going on, and most of the action takes place in the ocean, where there's plenty of space to move around, and you don't feel constricted or disoriented like you might in, say, Transformers. The Jaegers and the kaiju properly smash each other up, and if you see this film in 3D, I guarantee you'll be inadvertently trying to dodge a few of the punches. You'd think for a film this action orientated it would be entirely skin deep, but remember this is a Guillermo Del Toro film. There may be about an hour of solid action, but there's still a strong story underneath. The main characters all have interesting story arcs, and they don't always pan out the way you'd expect. There are a few cliches in the film, but these are forgivable. The cast do a good job. Charlie Hunnam plays the amazingly named main protagonist Riley Beckett, but to be honest with you, it didn't really make much of an impression. I didn't leave the film thinking, oh my god, that guy was incredible, I can't think of anybody else in that role. And I know that sounds like a complaint, but it's not, it's just kinda... Idris Elba gives the best performance of the cast as Team Commander Stacker Pentecost. What is with everybody in this film having such weird names? Who's ever going to be like, hey, I'd like you to meet my son? Stacker. There are moments where lesser actors would scream and shout and try to convey rage as audibly as possible, but Idris is silent and calm, and you're like, ooh. Charlie Day has the other standout role as a whack job scientist. I never caught his name, but knowing this movie is something ridiculous. It's really over the top, it's a very animated performance, but the movie would suffer without it. There's also some good humour in this film. Granted, 90% of it comes from Charlie Day and his character's side quest, but there's a genius gag with the Newton's Cradle, which I won't spoil here, but it just goes to show you that little touch of class that you get with having a brilliant director like Guillermo Del Toro. Well, that's my review of Pacific Rim pretty much over. First thing I want to do is apologise about the lighting. I don't have the money for fancy lighting equipment, so all I do is shoot in natural daylight. I only can shoot when it's sunny. Unfortunately, it's really sunny today, so you get these huge blocks of light on the wall, which I can't control, and I'm very sorry, but it happens. However, I do have a few more things that I want to talk about. I try to keep spoilers out of my videos as much as possible, so hopefully at a later date I'll upload a sort of spoiler discussion video, a spoiler podcast. Spodcast? I've just invented a new word, I'm definitely calling it that, so check back later for a Pacific Rim Spodcast. But anyway, yeah, so I'll try and upload that at a later date, give everybody a kind of chance to see the film first, because I still have a few gripes that I want to talk about in this film. This film is definitely worth a watch. I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. It is pure popcorn cinema. It's not often I say this, but I recommend you see it on the biggest screen possible. Project it onto the side of a building if you can. If you can get a hold of an IMAX ticket, do it. However, I didn't leave the cinema thinking it was absolutely amazing and dying for a second viewing. And one other thing, make sure you stick around for the end credits. There's a nice little cutscene in there that you don't want to miss. Right, well thank you for being one of like 3 people who watch my videos. Again, I apologise for the lighting situation here, but I don't have the money for equipment. You know, maybe I will at some point, but for now I definitely don't and have to film in daylight. So yeah, I hope you liked the video, hope you liked the review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and share it on Facebook, Twitter, anything else you got. Please tell people about my channel and tell them to come and watch my videos, because I promise you they'll be getting better as I go. Did you see the film? I hope you agree with my review. If you don't, let me know in the comments below. If you do, let me know in the comments below. Also, check out the video I've done in conjunction with this review of my top 5 movie robots. Again, so thank you so much for visiting my channel. Please share the video and I'll see you next time. If you like the film, if you like Pacific Review, check